For the thousands in attendance and the millions watching around the world
on Mufc Realist TV.
Ladies and gentlemen, from Mandalay Bay, Las Vegas, let's get ready to rumble!
Hello, you're on mute. Big up, everybody. Sorry for the long intro.
Again.
We had some problems. Mickey told me I made a new intro, and it was, I thought it was 30 seconds, but it was 3 minutes. It is what it is, but okay. Hope you liked it.
It felt like 10 minutes. Red J says 8-minute intro. Is this the Super Bowl? Fantastic. Absolutely love that. It felt like it, didn't it? I don't think we get quite as many viewers as the Super Bowl, but it was it certainly felt like the intro. Oh dear me. So absolute manic, bit of a crazy start. We've been sat in the background just waiting, like you guys have, waiting for that to finish. Sir Jarvis and Mr. Standish, thank you. Good evening, bestie. It's good to see you. Evening, Neil. How you doing? You okay? Read a little bit in the chat that you've got some sad news at the moment. So obviously, our thoughts are with you and your family at this time. I'm not going to say it out loud. Obviously, for those who want to read it, can read it. But for yourself, just let you know that we are thinking of you and hope you're okay. And hope this gives a little bit of peace and a little bit of time away from the other things that you're thinking of at this time. So, Jarvis, how are you keeping? You all right?
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm a little bit tired today. I had a late night yesterday and early morning today. So it is what it is. But now I have my cup of coffee. I'm ready to go for another hour or 30 minutes. I don't know how long we will go. Not much news, but we will try to keep it rolling. So how are you, Phil?
Yeah, I'm not too bad, thanks. I had a bit of a manic few days, week in work sort of thing. So been a bit run ragged. And I know we were trying to chat this morning, sort out what we're going to do on the show tonight. And it's just not even 9 o'clock. And then I think the last connection was at 6 o'clock after that. So it's good. Thank you for joining. I really appreciate it, Jarvis. Appreciate you joining us. We might have Poppy might be joining us a bit later on. He's in work at the moment. We'll see how he is. Nick's not able to join us this evening. She's just settling into a new home, which is great. So, but yeah, it's great to see so many people join us. We've got 43 people watching live so far. So don't forget to hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe if you've not done so already. So tonight we're going to, the last time we did a show, we said it would be a call-in show and then we didn't realize it was advertised as that. So, yeah, apologies. We've missed that. Mick had posted it. We've missed it. And somebody said at the end, thought this was a call-in show. So this time it will be a call-in show. So we've got no specific topics to go through. We're going to talk a little bit about injuries, what injuries we've got at the moment, whether, how they're going to impact the squad, who we think will be back in time for the next game, who we can expect back and what impact that's going to have and who's going to be back in January, who's going to be back in time for the 26th of November for our next game, and a little bit, if we get a chance, see how the chat goes, who would like to see join in January. Just a little bit of it, maybe realistic, not just like, Mbappe's and stuff like that. Obviously, that would be wonderful. I know some people still say no to Mbappe, but you don't know. We don't know, do we? Good evening. So let's say good evening to a few people. I'll just throw a few little chats up there. Angie, good evening. Hi, fella Jarvis, Mads, chat, VAR room. Good evening, as always. Lilish United, like the video. Fantastic. Yes, good evening. Bestie, we've already said good evening to yourself. Jamie Wayne, Neil Driscoll, V Cobra. I'm just trying to share the comments that I feel are meant to be posted. So we've got good evening, everyone. V Cobra, good evening. Rush Mano, Red J, Stu Woolley, good evening. Evening, Stu. And then we've just scrolling back. Daniel Hutchinson, good evening, Daniel. Do not read what it says on other sites. We'll not go into too much detail on that. Rush Mano, Richard Arnold was the king of leaks. Good evening, Mark Davis. We're good evening, guys. We're trying not to talk too much about the elephant in the room. We're doing our best to avoid that for as long as possible tonight. I'm just having a quick look. If I've not given you a shout out yet, Kieran Roberts, good evening. If I've missed you, throw your name in the bottom of the chat and I'll pick you up in a short while. I think I've just scrolled past Alistair. Good evening, Alistair. How you doing? You okay?
Alistair.
Let me just see if I've missed anyone. I don't think I have so
far. Did you put
far.
up Reber Bakir?
Just spotted. Good evening, Reber. Good evening.
I think he speaks Norwegian. He also speaks Norwegian to me in the chat. So Reber, hvordan går det, kompis? I just said, how's going in Norwegian?
Oh, I'll have a number 52, please. Yeah, sounds like a Chinese order. Yeah, and then we've got Steve Marvin. Steve Marvin's in the chat as well. And then we've got Bestie Luan. Good evening, Luan. What's the elephant in the room? Well, we're not going to talk about it. That's the whole point. Or the elephant not in the room at this moment. So yeah, we're going to try to talk about the current squad, whether they're available, whether they're not, who is, who isn't. And yeah, so injuries, I think we'll just start by just talking about a few of those who we've got. We'll keep our eye on the... Oh, good evening. Andre, I'm from Barbados. Wow, fantastic.
Ooh.
Good evening, Andre. I love that. Barbados. Where I'm here in sunny south of Manchester. It's southwest of Manchester. I am over near Wigan and that sort of area. So not quite. It's not stopped raining for the last 6 weeks. So Barbados, that sounds lovely. That would be fantastic. Yeah. Hope you're well there. Then we've got Mark Davis. Good evening, Singh. Man United finished, never win anything anymore. That's the nice positivity we want on the show tonight. Not anybody, right? That's it. I think that's all the shout out. So I'm just going to start with obviously we've got a couple of injuries at the moment. Lisandro Martinez, Casemiro, Ericsson, Højlund, Johnny Evans, Wan-Bissaka, Taro Malacia, Luke Shaw, and winner class Jadon Sancho in that. The elephant in the room must be my mother-in-law. I will post this and then you feel free to share it with your mother-in-law. There we go. There you go. That's from V Cobra. You can see why you've got a hidden name and not your real name when you're coming up with comments like that. Very smart, very smart. Keep it sensible, keep it hidden. Adrian Merritt. Always in here. Fantastic. So, so obviously, who do you think is going to have the biggest impact in our injuries at the moment? Obviously, we've got Casemiro out till sort of January. Lisandro Martinez, we know the impact that's having. Ericsson now rumoured to be the beginning of December at the moment. Højlund possibly a week earlier. I think our next game is the 26th. Is that right? 26th of November, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's saying his return date is around about the sort of 29th for Højlund. It doesn't bode well, does it? We've not been scoring goals. He's getting goals obviously in the Champions League, which is great for us. Is this a chance for him just to obviously it couldn't have happened if it had to happen? It could have happened at a better time for us in terms of being the internationals. He gets a chance to rest and maybe just do a little bit of sort of planning and prep with Ten Hag or whatever it might be on the look screens, assessment of games and things that he can improve, sort of thing. Somebody's asking, is Wan-Bissaka injured? No, last time he was. Neil's asking, is he injured? Last time he missed the game because he was ill. So no suggestion of a injury. So I think he'll be back certainly in time for the next game. Gordon, good evening, Gordon. Welcome to the show. Good evening, good show as always, guys. Thank you. That's a great start. We've been running for 15 minutes, but 7 minutes of that was an introduction. So we've actually been running for about 7 minutes live, I think. Is
but
first
it gives
statement.
people time to gather.
So, yeah, so that's it. Exactly that. Yeah, exactly that.
Yeah.
So in terms of
speaking of injuries, Phil,
what's the biggest impact on us?
We can start with sharing this. I have a good website here. It's called Premier League PremierInjuries.com. It's all the injuries we have at Man United.
Yeah, that's what I'm on.
Yeah. So you use the same.
Yes.
And you see here, Casemiro is still out. The potential return is actually 14th of January. So he's not going to play for a long, long time, as it seems. We also Lisandro Martinez. He's ruled out potential in January, hopefully. Same with Christian Eriksen. He will be back in beginning of December, 9th of December, it says here. Currently being assessed. Is a knee injury. So he will be out for about a month. Rasmus Højlund, a thigh injury, currently being assessed, potentially beginning late November, beginning of December, I would say. Muscle strain. We have Johnny Evans, same injury, currently being assessed, 26th of November. Aaron Wan-Bissaka injured again, but illness, fever. So it's just fever. So he will probably be back for the first game. Yeah. And Tyrell Malacia is still out, but he will also be back in business when it comes to the next game. So hopefully we will see Malacia back, and we have Luke Shaw, of course, but not long until he's back. Jadon Sancho still suspended. Traore, Amad Diallo, no return date. So this is currently our injuries at the moment. So for me now, we get Malacia back, we get Luke Shaw back, so we will be well set on center backs, fullbacks, and Luke Shaw can play as center back too. So that's a big win for us to get those players back. Suddenly we can rotate a little bit, because I'm worried, because we see players like Diego Dalot. He plays a lot of games. He plays a lot of minutes. So he's on the edge of like being fatigued and burned out if he plays every game 95-100 minutes. It's not good. So yeah, and we could see it last season. He played a lot up until the World Cup, and then he got injured. So we know how it goes, the cycle. So it's good for him to be rotated a little bit. So in defense, I think.
I mean, the thing is, I'm just going to say with Dalot, I mean, we've seen in a few games recently, you know, he can play well, he can play some good moments, and everyone's waxing lyrical about him. And then towards the end of the game, he switches off, and he shouldn't have to do this. But those sort of mistakes that Dalot was making, he's made a few in a few games recently. Is that fatigue, or do you think it's the sort of thing where he's just switching off, and the best thing that Ten Hag could potentially do, and you shouldn't have to do this, but while we've got the situation that we're at, sub him out in the sort of 70th minute, something like that, and you know, when his mind's starting to, for whatever reason, just switch off after 70 minutes, because it seems to be you're not gonna. It's almost saying what if, isn't it? I get that, you know, he's not injured, he's not physically looking tired, he's mentally tired, because there's been a few games now where, as we got towards the end of the game, he's switched off and we've conceded goals. It's a tough one. It's a tough one because he has been playing in many different positions as well. And I know we spoke a lot about sort of the way we started our season, how we're performing. And I am very adamant that a big part of our issues that we've faced so far this season is simply down to the fact that we've had an unsettled starting 11, unsettled subs and everything. You know, we certainly the back 4 or 5 Obviously, Onana coming in. I mentioned this in the last show. I think, the fact that he's trying to settle into a club with a settled back four, and I don't think we've seen the same back four twice in succession from the start of the season, from game to game. So, he's learning to play with all these different players, and lots of players are playing out of position. And at the end of the day, the professionals, they should be able to adapt. But at the end of the day, they're still trained to be specialists in their sort of area, unless there is a sort of player who's one of those who just plays right across in lots of different positions. But I think with Dalot, that's, he plays left back, he plays right back, and is it having a bit of an impact? Is his performance being impacted by playing in these different positions? We'd love to see Luke Shaw back and Wan-Bissaka back, and give Dalot a rest if you think he needs it, whatever. But just some of the natural players in the natural positions, it just seems a shame. Obviously against Copenhagen, I thought we had a really, really good game against Copenhagen, and then obviously until the red card we know about. But we had a few players in the more natural positions, and we seem to be playing better.
Yeah, I agree with what you're saying. You're summing it up actually, as I was going to do it. And we all know that physically and mentally it hangs together. So when your legs are tired, your head is tired, and this is just what it is. So a young player like Dalot, he needs a little bit of rotation. He needs to rest. Maybe he should just play every 2 game and one game rest. That will be probably the optimal for a player like him. And we have good players coming in. Malacia, he can play both right and left back, and Luke Shaw can play left back and center back. So I think we will have some rotation in the back four with those 2 players coming back, and I think that will be a relief for Ten Hag finally. And another aspect, when we have those players back, we have better ball players in the back who can play out from the back, and Malacia actually did quite good a couple of games last season when he inverted from left back into midfield. He's a ball player. He knows how to play ball. So I'm excited to see him back. He's been out for a long time. Maybe he will need a little bit more time than the 26th of November. He maybe need a couple of come in the end of the game, have 10 minutes there, 15 minutes there before he's up and running. But I think those 2 will do wonders for the team, as I see it.
Yeah, I think so. Mark Davis is asking, United play Everton on 26th of November away. Will United have any players back from injuries on that day against Everton? We've mentioned it. Jarvis has just shared the website premierinjuries.com. And it suggests that some players might be back sort of 26th, 29th of November. It suggests Luke Shaw, Tyrell Malacia, Wan-Bissaka, Johnny Evans, all due back on the 26th of November, with Højlund on the 29th. So it's obviously, they're basing the timescales based on the reported injury and what it naturally takes to recover from that injury. So it's hard to say. You're going to question, and this isn't being funny, I'm not writing the guy off at all. Are we going to miss Højlund because he's not scored yet?
Yeah, that's a good question, but I believe we will miss
him. Loaded question.
He's become one of the key players for Ten Hag. How we build up. He drops down. He works hard. He always binds up the 2 center backs, so he gives more space for the wingers. The only thing is we haven't quite learned how to play up to, before the cross come in. We are a little bit too fast, and Højlund is alone. We don't play up and set up the triangles and then cross. So we have players coming in from the deep who will support Højlund when the cross comes. We could see it in the last game against Luton, and we crossed a lot of times, but Højlund was alone against 2 to 3 defenders all the time. So it was hard for him. He had one big chance when he I don't know what happened. I think the
It was
ball hit
his
his
head, was
knee or his
it?
thigh.
His knee or something,
Yeah,
wasn't it? Yeah. He ran
yeah.
onto it right at the beginning. And he
He
was not,
couldn't
at the end
quite.
of the day, he's putting himself in the right positions, isn't he? But there was no way he could have got his foot to that from where he was. He almost ran into the ball. And the keeper made a good save. If he had been able to get a shot off, he probably would have put it left or right of the keeper. You have to assume that. But he run into it and used his body to knock it in that sort of direction. And I wasn't being funny when saying we're going to miss him. Absolutely. I think he's a fantastic player. And I think he just needs his first goal just to take that weight off his shoulders. And you can see in the games, he's getting frustrated when the ball isn't coming through to him. You can see many times he's like calling for it and then it doesn't come. And then he's like, oh, but he's not like throwing his arms down in disgust or anything. He's just kind of like saying, look, I'm here. I've got this options here for you, sort of thing. So as the players who are, constantly changing, get used to his sort of movements and things, it can only help ourselves, can't it?
Yeah. But going back to your question before we go to Luan, I just want to say, having Højlund out, it creates another problem for Ten Hag because we will have to play Martial. And Martial is a different type of player. So this is just another example of how unbalanced our squad is. We have different types, so we have to change our style of play when we put in another player. So when Højlund is out, we got to play Martial. But Martial, how do we utilize Martial at its best? We have to play the ball into his feet. That's where Martial thrives.
Yeah.
It's not the way with Højlund. He's fast. He likes to run in behind, and that's not Martial. So now again, Ten Hag needs to change his setup, his style, his tactics, as from we saw against Luton. So that's one of the problems why it takes time for Ten Hag to set up a clear style and tactic, because we have an unbalanced squad, and now we will see it with Martial on top.
It'd be different. I mean, one thing I've really liked, and I know there's been different comments made about it, seeing Rashford on the right, I think he's playing better because he's having to play differently. He's still making he's still on one-on-ones. He still doesn't believe in himself at the moment. Somebody's gifted 20 memberships.
Ooh.
Sorry, that just popped up on my screen.
I think that's Mick Ruby.
It must be in the background. He's watching.
In Thailand.
I feel like we're being judged. We're being monitored.
Oh, no.
Like my driving test all over again.
Don't get nervous. Okay, I will read out new members if it's okay, Phil.
Yes, please do. Yeah.
Let's see here. Oh, what's going on? I got a new membership. Okay, the new members. Yeah. New members: Jarvis Cocker, Milos Mitic, Dobre večer Milos, Jonathan Borg, hey from Sverige, Paul Greaves, Baman, Sally, Red Devil 7, Sam Platt, Raul Middleton, Stu MUFC, and Manrope Davandar. Sorry if I pronounce your name wrong. I have very small types in my phone. And we have Red J, Marcus Collins, Stuart Angel, Papa Luigi, Weiss Leo, and Born Wex, and Gary Walker. So new members, welcome to the team, and remember to thank the man himself, Mick Ruby.
Thank you very much, Mick. It's great to have you running in the background, keeping your eye on us, and thank you for those gifts, and welcome to all the new members to the channel. Fantastic. Luan, we were just saying obviously about the different styles of play and Rashford playing on the right, and we're just saying that 1-to-1 he still lacks that belief, but I think he's cutting it back, he's crossing it in instead of trying to take them all on at a time. There will be some times when he'll get his confidence back and he'll get that 1-to-1 and he'll get it, and once he gets one, I think his confidence will come again. Still, he just needs. I think so many players in the team just need a little bit of a nudge, a little bit of a goal, a little bit of a breakthrough, something like that. Sorry, I've just got a message saying that one of our guests is trying to join us. Google's working to fix it. Thank you, Google. He's gone again. It's you'll find out who it might be soon when the guest joins if he tries again. So obviously Rashford. I think Rashford over Anthony at the moment. Anthony's been under so much scrutiny. I think it's 3 goals in his last 2 seasons or something random like that. It's not great. It's not great at all.
We had the message from Mick here. We're just gonna read that out. He said, "Pay it forward to the people to watch our show. Big up, good night. 20 members from me, Mick." So he's in Thailand at the moment. It's the middle of the night. So Mick, go to bed, get some sleep.
Good night, mate.
You're getting old.
Get some sleep.
Sleep is very important, or you get gray hairs.
Yeah, look at state. It's shocking. 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
This is what happens. Right. So we did say it was a call-in show. I am going to post the link in the chat if anybody wants to dial in. What we'll do, don't be offended. Let us know that you're in there. I should have just posted that in now. I think that's come in right. Has that come into the chat?
Yep, it's in the chat.
Yes, it's into the chat. So if everybody wants to dial in, try that. And what we'll do if we get more than one person, just come in, say your comment, share what you want to say, and then if you can respectfully just exit, just leave the chat room sort of thing, and then we can carry on talking, and then we'll not end up with a big backlog of people trying to get in as we've had in the past. Where we've had 3 or 4 people just waiting. So yeah, please dial in. Let us know your thoughts. Let us know what you're thinking. Let's have this as a call-in show sort of thing, as you were all asking for last time. Good evening. And good advice from Jamie Wayne. Don't come on naked. That is brilliant. Thank you. Don't know who that was to.
Please.
But yeah, to everybody. Absolutely. Don't come on naked. That would get us in a little bit of trouble, and probably get us the show in trouble from YouTube. So where did Pappy disappear to? He was here and then he was gone. He was here for half a second. He was the one who was having issues when we tried to connect him in. So if anybody wants to, so we'll talk about who we can expect back for our next game against Everton. It's a big game at the end of the day. We're now, I think it's 7 points off the top of the table because of the results that happened last weekend, which is really good because everyone was writing United off, and suddenly it's like they're not quite as easy to have that same conversation. And you can say what you want, whether it's based on performance on the pitch or whatever, but we are the informed team at the moment. Long may that continue. Go on,
I just want to say when we are the informed team, I just want to add we have played Burnley, we have played Sheffield United, we have played Luton, so we have played a lot of the team at the bottom half of the table. We can only play against the team who are opposite on the pitch, so we can't complain in that way. But keep it in perspective. I will wait before I will celebrate being the informed team. We have 3 games coming up. We have Everton, we have Newcastle, and what's the last team we have? Everton, Newcastle, and we have Galatasaray too. But in the league, the next 3 games.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, it slipped my mind. But if we win those 3 games, I will say we are in form. Yeah, we will check. Maybe the VAR.
Well, the thing is, Newcastle. Yeah, I'm just bringing it up now. Everton, Newcastle, Chelsea.
Chelsea. And that will be a tough game. We saw Chelsea.
I like this little Ivo Bozic. He was the last forward to score at Old Trafford in the Premier League. Sancho, brilliant. Says it all, doesn't it? That is wow. Frightening. That is frightening. I'll tell you what, though. McTominay scored again tonight. Woohoo! Well done, Scott. Keep him coming. We need someone too. Make sure there's no women in the background. Jarvis knows what I mean. Yeah, we've seen that one. That was an interesting. That was when you're on your holidays, wasn't it? And your family were just popping in and not popping out.
Well, it made some good content.
It did. I'm sure it got lots of views. We've only beaten trash teams. You know, people are saying that, but you know, you can only beat the team in front of you. And the thing is, what we have been beating, call what you want, trash teams, low teams, whatever you want. But at the end of the day, we're getting the points. And what I'm liking about these performances, the last 2 or 3 performances, for the first time this season, we're starting to look a little bit more in control of the actual game itself. It's not looking like we're chasing the ball, we're misplacing passes, we're overhitting things, we're underhitting. We're not creating many goal-scoring opportunities. That's something we need to work on. But I think something we really needed to work on was solidifying the back, keeping some clean sheets, getting some points on the board. That's what he's done. That's what he's done. And that's all you can say, you know. People saying, oh, Ten Hag out. He's got to be given a chance. It's absolute nonsense. Absolute nonsense it is at this point.
Yeah, I got a message from Poppy here yesterday. He's struggling with some bad connections. He will try to jump on when everything works itself out. So, yeah, move on.
He's in the background, but he's not working. So, yeah, we know you're there. Yeah, so I understand what you're saying, Evo, but at the end of the day, you can only beat the team in front of you. Yeah, so that's all we can do. And Everton, good or bad side before we get a result out of that?
Yeah, Everton going to be a difficult game. They are maybe up for a minus 12-point ban because of financial fair play issues. There came out some rumors yesterday. It's not confirmed yet. So for Everton fans, don't take your sorrows in front. So we will wait and see. But if they are deducted 12 points, that will mean that Everton will be in the mud. So it depends how they react. Maybe they will start winning. It's not good because this always happens when we are up against team. They lose their manager and then we play them on the manager bounce. And now Everton will be deducted 12 points and who knows what's going to happen. I feel like we always struggle against Everton, at least at the Goodison Park.
I mean, why 12? What's the relevance of 12 points? You know, what's this in relation to? Is it because so many points a bad mark? Because if it is, how many minus points is City going to get? They'll never catch up. Or have they just bought the way out of it secretly and just brushed it under the carpet a little bit and paid a little bit of money over the show me the money, have it sort of thing, take it, don't say nothing, keep it quiet, bury it. Let's start a story about Everton.
Yeah, we got to be fair when it comes to Manchester City because, you know, the allegations is very old. It's like 10, 12 years old. So it's hard to gather all the evidence and, you know, old emails. We talked about it yesterday. Do you have an email that's 10 years old on your inbox? Most likely not. So I think we will have to wait for that maybe until the end of the season before we have a verdict on the 115 charges. But if Everton gets a minus 12-point deduction, Manchester City should be up for relegation in my mind.
Yeah, relegation from the whole league, I think they're that bad.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's not obviously not going to happen. But at the end of the day, you know, we did see, you know, years ago, was it Juventus and Inter Milan? Was it? Went down about 4 leagues and had to fight their way back up, sort of thing. Yeah. Was through match fixing, wasn't it? So these things do happen to the bigger teams, but is it still going to happen? We don't know. The problem you've got, it's gone quiet, and you know there's all this at the moment about Everton. Like, well, why are they the big story when they've possibly made one mistake? I'm not saying they shouldn't be punished for it, but why is it like, oh yeah, that's sorted, 12 points done? Is it because City's punishment is so much greater that they've got to be certain of it? I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I suppose if Everton are going to lose points, they'd rather lose them now than at the end of the season. You know, we saw that. I can't think of who it was. We saw it with a team the other year, possibly in a lower league. I think they managed to beat the relegation battle and then lost the points and went down anyway. I can't remember
Was
who
it
it was. If
Derby?
anybody remembers, could be.
Derby.
If anybody remembers in the VAR room, give us a shout. Just confirm who it was who did that. But that happened. It got to they took the points off them afterwards, or they took the points off them with about 3 or 4 games to go, something like that. And it was just no chance. Good question here off Rebber. I like this question. Why do our fans always down talk the manager and the players when all other fans do the opposite? I think the problem you've got is United historically is such a massive club with a massive expectation from the fans, and other clubs don't have the same expectation that we have, and we shouldn't, because at the end of the day we should be supporting who we've got in terms of the manager and the players. Get behind them, because like I've said before, if somebody came to your work and slated you for your performance, it wouldn't help you get any better, would it? So yeah, Papi needs a hamster.
My comment when it comes to this about why we are always so critical, because this is Man United's predicament. It's holding on to the Ferguson era and expect identical standards. And that can be harmful, because we end up denying ourselves the essential time now to rebuild the team, and we get stuck in a vicious cycle. So this is actually the predicament of Man United fans and being part of a big club like this. So this is how I see it. Do you think I'm onto something?
Yeah, I do. I think. I mean, when you look back at the Fergie era, people say that we got special treatment. I've never really gone back and analysed it. I think at the time that other clubs just felt it because we were winning, we were getting 1-0 wins. I still remember penalties and things like that going against us. I still remember the Portsmouth FA Cup game, I think it was, and we got that penalty possibly against Vidic, maybe. And that took us out the FA Cup, and Portsmouth went on from that and went on to win it. And it's so, and you know, I was watching the archives on Sky Sports the other night. Other channels are available, and it was showing an old United game, and it was showing like the likes. It had Ronaldo, Rooney, Ronaldo when he was first here, Scholes, Vidic, Rio. We had a good side out, Giggs, and we were playing Fulham, and it was 1-1 in the 78th minute, and they were all over us. So it's like, United fans have this expectation of, somebody said in the comments earlier, we're playing all the rubbish teams. Get rid of Ten Hag, we're doing pathetic. But, I think we actually went, I didn't get to see the end of that Fulham game, but I think it's the one where Ronaldo went down the left at the end, scored in the 92nd minute, and we won the game 2-1 or something like that. But the point I'm making is, throughout the game, it wasn't easy when we had the best team, if you like, of all the legends that we often speak about. And so I think fans sometimes have this perception that we should be so much greater, but in reality, I think other teams have just caught up. Yeah. Different perspective.
They have caught up without a doubt, and we all know who we can blame for that. It's the elephant we don't want to talk about, who's taking the money out of the club. So it's hindering our development as a club. We haven't. We still have the same stadium, the same training facilities. Nothing has been done in 30 years, or 20 years. So it is what it is. I just want to bring up one thought when you mentioned Juventus getting relegated. At that time, Juventus had I don't know if you know this story about Ferguson and Del Piero, because Ferguson was always on his knees for Del Piero. He wanted Del Piero at Man United. And when Juventus got relegated, Ferguson called up Del Piero and begged him to come to Man United. But Del Piero answered, "This is my club, and I won't leave it when they need me the most." So he played in Serie B at Italy and played Juventus up again. So that's a
is.
club legend in my opinion. It's a strong character. So he got my respect.
Yeah. I mean, what's his face did that for when he left Atletico, wasn't it? Griezmann, Antoine Griezmann. He was due to join us, and then they got the fine where they couldn't make any purchases in the transfer window. He decided to stay, and then we know he obviously went to Barca after that. But the reason he didn't join us was because he was being loyal to the club. A little bit different, but similar situation where, no, I'm not leaving my club. I'm not leaving while they're falling, sort of thing. You know, you wonder how many people nowadays would stay at the team if they went down. You know, if, for example, City were relegated 2 leagues, how many would stay there and fight their way back? Would the manager? Would the players?
I don't think so.
No. I mean, Andy Moore saying he just wants to see the team show some fight. Couldn't fight the way out of a paper bag at the moment, sort of thing. He's saying, but I'm just trying to see what we're saying in the comments. Nothing going to happen to City. Money talks. Yeah, absolutely. What somebody said, what are fans doing to kick the Glazers out? Do you know what? I don't know what the answer is to this. You know, you've got clubs who are you've got groups who are coming together to protest outside Old Trafford.
Yeah, the 58.
58, that was it. I think you could do that every week. I don't think it'll make a difference. You know, somebody was saying, well, don't go to the game. Well, the problem you've got is the season ticket's already bought. So the money's already spent. So the Glazers don't care too much about, they'd lose some money on hot dogs and drinks and stuff like that. I don't think it would hit them enough. The biggest thing, as we've spoke about for so long, is the sponsors. And people have tried boycotting the sponsors, and 1 or 2 kind of held back and went, "Oh well, I'm not gonna join that team right now." But there's so many out there who do want to join this behemoth that is Man United.
Yeah,
it's such a big club that there's always someone will back it. If somebody else says, "I'm not doing that anymore," someone else will go, "Brilliant, there's a door open there. I'll come in and I'll back them." Because when they become good again, I'll get my money. I do not know.
Yeah,
Del Piero is my barber's godson.
Yeah,
love that.
Interesting thought about the relegation. You know, just as a hypothetical thought, how who of the Man United players would stay if we got relegated? Who would definitely stay if we got relegated? Then you think? Do you think Bruno would stay? Would Rashford stay? It's a tough one.
I think at the moment, I think with the problem you've got at the moment, I think it will be dependent on why we were relegated. If we were relegated based on performance, I think that has a different impact, because I've just started watching This Is Wrexham. Brilliant on Disney Plus. Other channels are available. But it was started watching it last night or the night before. And when they didn't make the promotion spot, first thing they did, the guy who got the red card, he was 36, 37, Rutherford. He knew he was of an older age anyway within the team, so he was kind of hanging on anyway. But then the very next day, they got rid of him and 10 other players.
Yeah.
Gone. We need a fresh start. 11 players just gone. New manager came in, new money. We know the money counts. The owners, McElhenney and Ryan Reynolds.
Ryan Reynolds, yeah.
You know, McElhenney, what really hit me about that show, so McElhenney wanted a striker. He wanted the Carlisle striker, Cambridge striker. He was the top goal scorer with 34 goals in the year before, but they were 2 leagues higher. He spent 90 minutes on one phone call persuading him. So that is the difference in the management at the top of a lower club who wants someone to be successful and someone who doesn't. So going back to your question about relegation, why would we be relegated? If it's based on performance, the fans wouldn't get behind the players because they'd screwed up, so get rid of them anyway. So they wouldn't care. So why would the players want to stick around? Because they're not wanted. If it was based on something that happened shady behind the scenes, for example, like City, and we were demoted, or there was match fixing going on, like with the Juve situation, that's different because that's down to the players to go, we're better than that. We'll get them back where we belong. So a tough one. I don't know. Would you want to stick around if nobody wanted you there?
Yeah, well, most likely not. But yeah, you make a good point, Phil. Actually, it's quite good. I see here Red J say Rashford will be on the phone to PSG within 5 minutes. So he's not very happy.
I read today that they want Martial.
Yeah. Why not? You can get him on sale. And see here, Matty R comes in and say Maguire would stay for money.
Well,
I bet
Maguire had a chance to go and stayed, and so McTominay, as we all know of, fought for the place and wanted to stay. Again, based on why we went down, I think they're the sort of players who might stay.
Yeah.
Don't know. It's tough.
I'm not old enough to remember. I'm not old enough to remember last time we were relegated, but I heard people talking about it and saying, remembering it as a good time because the club gathered again and went
consolidated, came together.
Yeah.
Interesting. Not that we want to see that at all.
No.
Never hear the end of it. Quick question from Mark Davis. If I can bring it up. There we go. Do you think penalties should be given for shirt pulling in the box? It's a foul. I think the only way that they're going to kind of, for myself, my opinion, I was talking about this the other day. I think that the best way to get VAR consistency is have the same people doing the VAR reviews, not on so much this rotation all the time, because then you would find people who gave the same opinions, same mindset. So I was watching that refs mic'd up show the other night, and I was really annoyed by the assistant VAR because that goal against Fulham that was ruled out, where Garnacho crossed it, and was it Hoyland or McTominay put it in at the back post?
McTominay
put it in at the back post, and they were ready to give it. They'd done the review. They'd finished it. They were just about to say, goal, give it. And then Sean, her name was, on the assistant VAR, went, hang on a minute. Harry Maguire, is he interfering in play? Now, actually, she was right when you really, really go down into the nitty-gritty of it. But that was a very last minute, whoa, hang on a minute. Have we thought about this? And my problem is they don't put the same effort into every game. Is she a United fan? Probably not, by the sounds of it. The way she said, I could be wrong and I could be doing an injustice, but she came, the way it sounded was like, oh, I'm a Liverpool fan. Hang on a minute, what else can we catch? That's how it came across. Yeah. But we need some consistency. We need that level. And when you watch that mic'd up show, it's really interesting. It's really good because it gets you a little bit more insight. You can see why things are taking so long with the crossers and what they're doing and what they're looking at and cross-checking and stuff. It's really good. So in answer to your question, Mark, should be given a penalty for shirt pulling. I think the problem you've got is you can literally be running and almost catch somebody's shirt and they'll be saying that shirt pulling. So again, it's like, were they dragging them back so that the neck was like dragged back sort of thing? Or was the shirt like half off the back? Or was it just a little bit of a tug at the back? You know, and I think that's part of the problem when you're starting to get to that sort of level of detail. I think when you see a shirt pull in the middle of the field, it's not always a free kick. You see them grabbing at each other and bit this, bit of that, carry on, get on with the game, just keep playing, keep running. If somebody's stopped and then the player goes to get away and then they yank them back, that's a clear decision. But I think you've got that grey area again of shirt pulling in the box. It's difficult. It is cheating. You're right. But there's so many things that you could really start to analyze it, and you could just kill the game because it isn't a non-contact sport. I just want to see consistency. I don't mind what the rules are. I just want them to be consistent. That's my frustration.
Yeah. For me, it's like we saw in the Newcastle game when Gabriel was pushed with two hands in his back and Newcastle scored. I think it was Joe Linton who pushed Gabriel, so he was flying forward, and Gordon scored a goal. The referees talked about the pushing of two straight arms in his back, and they say he pushed him in the back, but it was soft, so they didn't want to give it. So suddenly in that situation, it mattered if it was soft or not. But in the Højlund Rodri situation, it didn't matter if it was soft or not. It didn't matter. So in one VAR instance, they put their weight on soft or not, and on the other VAR, they don't care if it's soft or not. So that's the problem. There's no guidelines of how to interpret the rules. So when it comes to the VAR bus, okay, the referee can referee the game as he wants. But when it comes to the VAR bus, they should have clear guidelines. How soft or how hard should a pull be, or a drag in a shirt or whatever, there should be clear guidelines. Unless the fans will go nuts. They won't understand what's going on. It's only the referees who understand it because they know all the paragraphs and rules in the rule book. But we are not like that. We love football. We are watching it for the love of the game. And VAR should be more thoughtful about that.
Why do you think that this mic'd up show is great for people to see? Why do you think it's not live? Why are we not hearing the commentary live as it happens? What's the difference? You know what I mean? If they're willing to show it afterwards, that might appease the fans a little bit at home, might take away some of the objectivity. People might understand it a little bit better. Now, I've not seen the end of the show. I was watching the Wrexham one instead. But when I just got to the point where I think it was Michael Owen was interviewing Howard Webb, and he said, and for some reason I turned it off. I didn't wait for the answer. He said, "What's the difference?" He said, he said all this went through the VAR. The goal was given for Gordon, but then after the game had finished, not immediately after, but after the game, since the game is finished, it's being said that VAR got it wrong. I didn't listen to the answer. I will listen to it. I've recorded it. But interesting, so even though they're saying they've done all the VAR checks and it's all there, so if anybody's heard it, let me know. Let me know what Howard Webb said on why they are able to get it wrong with all that technology, and is it down to opinion still? So if anybody's heard it, let us know in the chat.
But you talked about it the other day. I saw you on X on Twitter. You made a comment about subjectiveness of a ruling, because it's clear and obvious, so it should be objective.
Yeah.
But when you come in with subjective opinions when you are in the VAR room, it makes it really difficult.
I think the problem is, absolutely, they've been scrutinized on it so much. They're getting it wrong. There should be almost a time limit. Like, you've got 30 seconds to review this, and if it's not worked out within 30 seconds, it's not clear and obvious. Simple as that. That maybe it's something as simple as a timer or a minute. 1 minute is your deadline. That's all you've got. That's all you've got to make all your decisions and make it clear. 1 minute, and then yes, the pressure's on, but and little mistakes might happen, but they only had a minute to do it. So whether or not it's drawing the crosshairs on or whatever it might be. Oh, there you go.
Yeah, this is Neil Warnock. He put out this
I did not know this.
yesterday.
I am not Neil Warnock, just to clarify, but I did not know this. I'm just in my mind.
I read it
Stop
out
using
yesterday,
slow-mo
but you can
replays.
read yourself. It's 30 seconds. Stop using slow motion replay. Change the offside rule so there will be daylight in between the attacker and defender. Allow refs to use common sense. So this is points that the fans, I believe, the footballing fans, the players and the managers wants this. So
I can't believe he said everything I've been saying.
yeah.
Say, I do know what I'm talking about. You guys think I don't. Hit the like button. unless he's talking nonsense. And I'm just an old codger like him. Oh, brilliant.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly that, Alien 10. That's what I've been saying. VAR needs an unattached team of regulators to make these decisions. Yeah, I mean, one of the things that frustrates. See, the thing is, I was thinking about VAR the other day because it's in everybody's mind at the moment, and they're talking about like the goal line, was it a drag in the box, these sort of thing. But some of the goals that have gone against us was where the ball had gone out of play near a throw in, further up the pitch. That doesn't get looked at. But in tennis, they've got, is it Hawkeye they use in tennis? It can check every single part of the court. So why can't we have something like that? And my big question, why is it pixelated? Why haven't they got HD? Why haven't they got HD? All can't say it's pixelated. What, are you using a Nokia 3210? Do you know what I mean? Why? Why is it so poor? Why is it so poor? I do not get it. Do not get it. Oh, VAR. Yeah, fantastic. Can we move on?
Yeah,
we'll come back to it in a short while. So, question, Mr. and Mrs. Talawas. Come on, there was headache times with Sir Fergie too, made lots of mistakes. Didn't get every transfer right. Most importantly, took him time to get it right in a trophy too. Absolutely, that's what I was saying before, unless I think that was possibly when my point may have been a little bit misunderstood. I was saying I was watching some of the old games and they do make mistakes, but the fans forget those sort of things. Subjectivity of offside, exactly. Yeah, hilarious, isn't it?
Yeah, people don't forget we have the call-in is still a chance to call in. Just hit the link and you will come into the studio, not on directly. We will come in the back room and we will bring you on. You don't have to show your face, but it's good if you have a good internet connection and a good mic or a phone that you can talk into. And we can have a discussion and a conversation. So please just join. Hit the link.
But as it was mentioned earlier, if you don't show your face, you don't need to show any other body part either. Just keep your camera off. Simple as that. No need. We don't need any other body parts being shown.
Okay. I'm by myself. All by myself. Okay. I think Phil Standish lost his connection. I think his family is on the PlayStation and using up his internet. Or, hey, you're back.
So I'm borrowing my son's mouse, and I just caught a little back button which I didn't even know existed, and it ejected me from the show. I'm back. Sorry about that, guys.
No problem.
Oh, brilliant! It is a gaming mouse. It is a gaming mouse. I did not know. Remember, make sure you're not naked. And no Borats. Good shout. Very, very good. But no, see, with last time we had a call-in show, nobody joined, and we didn't realize the call-in show. This time we do. We're giving you lots of chances to make your opportunity, join the show. But if you don't, that's fine. It's no problem. We'll happily just keep a little bit longer. We're with you, Jarvis. Okay, good. What is going on my screen? I've got all things.
Matthew R comes in with a good comment. He says, Jarvis, if you're looking to employ some of the channel, Richard Arnold will be available soon, mate. Maybe we should get Richard Arnold on the channel. That would be great. He has a lot of inside knowledge about the club. But speaking of, we are searching for a new employee of the channel. Mick is. We want a new presenter, so it's a chance. If you guys wanna do an audition, feel free.
There's nicer ways of saying you're getting rid of me, Jarvis.
No. We want Phil Standish on the show. I would like to have you on more
Nobody told me.
You're always busy.
I know. I am. I'm very busy. I'm very sorry. Good question. If it's Beyonce, feel free to, display yourself on the screen. The rules of football are being changed every 3 minutes, even though the rules were fine for over 30 years. And now Americans are saying it's offside due to excitement. Okay, so we've got here Evo Bossage. Why should we give Ten Hag transfer funds if he's not shown us a style of play? Until then, we're buying players blind. I think at the end of the day, I'll let you answer this one, Jarvis. Go for it. Because we have a very similar opinion anyway, so I'll let you answer him.
Why should we give Erik Ten Hag transfer funds? Okay. How many players have we bought under Erik Ten Hag? Like we bought 4 to 5 players last summer, and this summer we bought basically the same amount. So he has like 8 to 10 players. I'm not sure at the exact number when we come to reserve goalkeepers and stuff like that.
Malacia, Batinda, Casemiro, Anthony, Martinez. Who we're missing? Ericsson,
Højlund, Amrabat.
Højlund and Amrabat. Is that it? That's 8.
Mason Mount.
And Reguilon, 10.
Yeah. So 10 players.
So Reguilon and Amrabat are loans. We can't include Weghorst because he can't. So we've bought 8 players.
Yeah.
Do you think we'll keep Amrabat?
I think it will come good. Yeah. You know, you got to remember Amrabat, he didn't have a preseason. He basically trained by himself. No. He was out of the squad. He forced his move from Fiorentina. He came in. He had a little injury. He had a back injury. He didn't play for. I think he got that injury when playing for Morocco. He came into the team. He was forced to play right away without any basic
left
training.
Back.
Yeah, left back a couple of games. So we can't judge him on what we have seen at the moment. I think he will come good. Remember when we signed Casemiro, Ten Hag didn't play him for, 8 weeks. And then suddenly he came into the team and he was firing. So, you know, Ten Hag's style is very physically, and you need to be in great shape to play the counter-pressing style that we are trying to do. So he's not there yet, but I believe that Amrabat will come good. Yeah. But back to the question.
Yes. Yeah.
I think we should give him more players. He needs more players at the moment. And when we let's go by statistics, 50% of the transfers are successful. So now if he have bought 10 players, he have 5 players that's working statistically. So maybe he needs 10 more players to have a team of 10 to make it work. But you know, you see even Pep in City, but we don't notice it when it comes to City because they can buy Bravo as a goalkeeper for 50 million, and the next season bring in Ederson. I don't care, says Pep. Because he just fix it right away because they got money, but with us it's not the same.
Under million defender.
Yeah,
let's not say nothing. Let's sneak him through the door.
Yeah.
So they're paying 100 million a player. You can't compete with that. They're just topping up with £100 million players.
Yeah. Angie's back. Good to have you back, Angie.
Yes, thank you. How many likes are we on at the moment? How many likes are we on?
Oh, we are on. Let's see. We are on. Where is Stephanie Griffith? We are on 40 likes. Not
40.
bad.
Come on, guys, hit that like button. Hit that like button. So maybe we should see how Ten Hag uses the current squad: Pelistri, Mainu, Ahmad till the end of the season. See if he wants more money. I think the problem you've got, Tenor, is Mainu. We know he loved and he wanted to use him, but he's been injured. Pelistri, for whatever reason, just isn't quite working yet, and Ahmad has been injured all season. So I get what you're saying, but those players aren't actually available. Pelistri, yes. But at the moment, Pelistri's right wing, and he's competing with Rashford and Anthony. And when Pelistri's come on as a sub, he's done quite well. He's added some energy and sharpness to the game. But when he started the game, for me, he's not looked good at all. Not saying he's not going to make it. I just think at the moment he's a sub player, but we're not seeing enough of that either. I don't know.
So far this season, Pelistri has been involved in 5 games, and he's only played 111 minutes of Premier League football. He has 1 assist. So basically, he needs more game time. For me, it's hard to judge him. He's comes in and gets 10, 15, 20 minutes here and there. But I believe he plays good when he comes in. So I would like to see more of him. I'm not sure why Ten Hag is not picking him. I think it's maybe because of competition and maybe a little bit. But I think Ten Hag wants players who are, I would say, press resistive on the ball, and I believe Pelistri, he's losing the ball sometimes, especially when he has his back against the goal. He's a little bit too weak, and needs to develop that part of his game for Ten Hag to trust him. In my opinion, do you see the same, Phil?
Yeah, I do think he's weak on the ball, but I also think he's got a bit of tenacity which he could use. I think the problem we spoke about already in tonight's show is about consistency within the team. Somebody commented about Ten Hag's style of play being implemented. It's really hard to implement his style of play when he's got so many changes all the time. I'm just going to invite our guest onto the show, onto the stage. Welcome, big round of applause to our friend Luan. Good evening. How are you doing, Luan?
Hi, guys.
Hey, Luan. How are you?
I'm good. It's good to see you guys. I'm finally on here. Mark kind of dared me to come on.
Yeah, that's fantastic. We don't bite,
I think
so
last
it's
time
okay.
I saw you on the show, you were on your landing last time. in the hallway, I think, last time, trying to get an internet signal.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right.
How are you doing? You all right?
Yeah, I'm okay. There isn't much to say. I just wanted to come on and say hi.
Yeah, but thank you. It's nice to see you. That's all we want. We just want to see. We want to meet the people. We want to meet the people in the VAR room. It's nice to say hi and put a voice to a name, sort of thing. So even if you don't show your face, look how brave Luan's been. Just get in there. Just click the link.
Yeah, come on, guys, call in.
Come and say hi. Come and say bye. Say what you need to do. Let us know your thoughts. Who do you think should be playing right wing at the moment, Luan? And then I'll leave you that question. Then feel free to leave after that, unless you've got any questions for us.
That's easy. There's only one person always at the top of my head. Jarvis knows that. Who's that, Jarvis?
Hey, yeah. I love the link you sent me on the Mourinho comments. Mourinho, he always comes with those quotes, and he speaks facts sometimes. I don't know if you guys know. I'm just gonna see if I can find it here. He made a comment about Højlund and Haaland.
Haaland comparison.
Yeah. What's the difference between and I will see if I can bring it up here on the screen. You guys can see it for yourself. 1 second, guys. Where is it? There, invite, present, share screen, and Twitter. No, it's not that one.
It's not coming. I'm
No,
looking
I
away
can't-
because I'm
cannot
trying to
find it
see it
right now.
on.
Here it is.
You found
I
it?
don't know if you can. Yeah, it's on screen now. The comment is actually Mourinho. He says one is doing it in a struggling club, no support from his team, not even getting fed, proper striker. The second, no, just football, just finishing.
Yeah, I agree. Do you know what's funny?
No.
He's not exactly my favorite person. I don't particularly like him.
Who,
I
Mourinho?
don't particularly Mourinho, no. But when I saw that, I was like, okay, fine, big props.
Yeah.
Yeah, the problem with Mourinho, it comes across as a little bit mopey and
It's a little brash, isn't he? Ugh.
yeah, but you know he changed the first when he was the manager of Porto and his first period of Chelsea, he was on fire. He was really good and the players loved him. But after that, he was I don't know if he was overthinking it all the time or didn't feel the love from Man United when he was at our
I
club.
think it's this. I think it's the latter. I was about to say that. I don't think it's much of anything, but when he came to United, he met these crappy people who didn't give him what he wanted, and every time he tried, he just got shot down, and so he actually just started taking it out on the players a lot, I find. And
Yeah, it was
if
a big
you,
mistake.
I mean, yeah, and so they basically down tools on him.
Yeah,
I think at the end of the day, he was publicly calling him out, wasn't he? He was saying like Luke Shaw, I have to tell him all the time. He needs to train harder, and it was harsh what he was saying. He was saying he basically isn't a good player, and I have to tell him where to run and where to stand. They're the sort. That's not about putting effort in. That's basically saying this guy's inept, and that is too far, you know. And it's a shame because we've seen that he can do good things, but yeah,
of course, Mark, you'll think he's speaking facts because that's how you are. You think that it's okay to go ahead and say that, but it's not. It's not cool. It's the same thing. I know a lot of you disagree with me, but I think that you could catch a lot more flies with honey than you do with vinegar. You know, you'll catch a lot more flies with honey than you do with vinegar. And what he does, it's so far out of what I could appreciate or accept.
Yeah.
You know, it's not cool. It's just not cool. And that is the reason why I'm going to say something here that 99% of you won't agree with. That's why I'm backing Sancho.
Okay. Yeah.
You know, that's why I think knowing where Sancho's head is, I think that ETH made a mistake when he called him out. And once he did that, I think he's going to die on that hill because I don't think Sancho should. And I don't think that he would actually apologize. So just like that, we lost someone who had the ability to possibly do better. You know, I think instead of putting his arm around Sancho and saying, okay, what you did was not cool, but maybe you took offense to what I said. And let's just kind of, let's agree to disagree, get you on the pitch, let you do. Instead, he decided, I want an apology. And once it was out there, everybody expects Sancho to now apologize. And that's not going to happen. Because if I was Sancho, I would not apologize. I'm sorry. He's a grown man. You know, he's a grown man. He shouldn't have to apologize. And if he could take it and say it out in public that, if he could put out in public that Sancho didn't perform in training, Sancho has a right to say, I don't think so. I think I did. He never did come out and say, my manager is a liar or ETH is a liar. He says, in my opinion, I performed well in training.
Yeah.
You know, That's what he said.
Opinion. Yeah, that's true.
I think the problem is, I mean, I agree with what you're saying, Luan. I think the problem you've got is his history goes against him, because we've heard that from other clubs he's had the same problems. He had it when he was at City. He's had it when he was at Dortmund.
But
he's been accused of being lazy and not playing to his best sort of thing. Now, I'm a big supporter of Sancho. Everybody knows that. And I have been for a long time. I've always wanted him to be successful. But I think at the end of the day, as a professional, if it was my career at risk, if I was, I would want to sit down with my boss and say, can we sort this out? Even if it's just sort it out so that we've had a conversation and that's it. Let's just draw a line. I'm gone, or I'm staying, or let's try again, or something. But there doesn't seem to have been anything, and I think that's the problem. I've got somebody waiting. We did have two people waiting. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but before we do that, we have some gifts, Phil. Angie gifted 20 memberships.
Oh, I think we both clicked it at the same time.
Oh,
yeah. There we go. Thank you very much, Angie. Fantastic. 40 memberships tonight. 40 memberships. Fantastic. Brilliant.
Could I respond a little bit?
Yeah.
Yeah. Could I respond a little bit to what you said?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So, Phil, you're saying that there's history, right? Which, of course, that's cool. Yeah. And I'm fine with that. Yeah. The problem that I have with that whole thing is the way that it's handled. Yeah. Right? What happened was once he put that up there, he could have met him in the thing the next day, and they could have come to a consensus. Listen, this isn't working for us. You go out there, you do your best, you play your best game. We find you a great club in January. Nobody had to have this whole big crap that's going on. That's how I see it. Diplomacy. You don't build a hill and stand on it and expect everything to go the way you want it to because you're the boss. No. Respect. Mutual respect. Mutual respect. They would have been great.
The players, but has he gone against his contract?
I'm sorry?
Because a lot of, has he gone against his contract? Because there's reportedly certain clauses within the contract to do with what you can and can't do and say on social media.
Do you want to know something? I don't think that, he never said anything negative. All he said is, in his opinion, he's always trained well. That's what he said. He's always trained well. And then, first of all, it was about taking it down because it's making the manager look bad. And I don't think that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
To me, that's not cool. I think that the way that they went about it is all wrong. They could have said to him, even if there was a problem with him contractually, they could have said to him, he could have said to him, listen, all of this needs to be taken care of, but let's do it quietly to the side instead of pulling it out there in the public. That's what I have a problem with.
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm losing
when it comes to Sancho, I just want to have my say, Phil, yeah, I just want to have my say when it comes to Sancho, because I think Luan brings out a good point. And maybe he should have an arm around his shoulder to make him perform. And maybe Ten Hag was too harsh with him. But how it played itself out, I think they both regret what happened. But it has come too far now. It's hard to solve the conflict, and now it goes on to Ten Hag's authority as a leader. So he just have to win this conflict. If he loses, he's out, you know. So this is now he has to as you said, he has to stand on this hill and win this battle. But I think if he could do it over again, he would have done it differently. But it is what it is. So at the moment, Sancho needs to apologize publicly, I believe, for the situation to resolve.
Well, I don't think so. I think he should stay his course. And I mean, I'm going to agree to disagree with you, Jarvis, but I think that he should stay his course. He really should. At this point, no going back. The other thing is, at this point, ETH having him there on the bench and training with the kids and all that kind of stuff, feeding him in a plastic bowl and all that kind of stuff. All that is doing is devaluing the player. So even if they want to sell him, I hope to God that we could get $10 for him at the end of all this.
Yeah, it's true. We his value is
I mean, just
yeah, go on, Phil.
Go on, Jarvis, sorry. I was just going to say, so I think we need to move on from this because obviously it's a good conversation, but we need to move on because there's lots of people, and we've got Mark Davis in the background as well, who's waiting to join us. But
so
I found the tweet off Sancho. He does basically say it's not true. So he says, please don't believe.
He says it's not true, but he never said.
Sorry, Luan, can I just finish? It says, I will not allow people saying things that are completely untrue. I have conducted myself in training very well this week. I believe there are other reasons for this matter that I won't go into. I've been a scapegoat for a long time, which isn't fair. So he is calling the manager in public. And for that reason, whilst I agree, things could have been held controlled, dealt with differently by Ten Hag, I think he's gone too far as well with what he said, and that's reading out his word for word tweet. So I think they're both in the wrong. They both should have said
exactly.
We're both men. Let's sort this out and let's just move on.
Exactly, and he could have gone somewhere in January.
He still might.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was saying, as far as I was concerned, once it got to that, also what I heard is there were issues between ETH and Sancho before all of this happened because of Anthony, because Sancho felt like he wasn't being played, right? But whether that's the case or not, whether or not that's the truth, the bottom line is the way it was handled in the first place, it should never have started. And even after the tweet came out from Sancho saying, no, I did well, I think that instead of going, oh, well, wow, you did this, let's do this. No, they could have gotten together and they could have gone in public and said, you know, we figured it out, and nothing else to the vultures that you call the press. You know? Nothing else to the vultures. All they had to do was say, put on a united front and say, we've talked it out and we're good. You know, I could see them going, oh, Ten Hag, did he apologize? Or did Jadon Sancho apologize? Jadon, what happened? All they had to say together, we've discussed it and we're good. We've figured it out. Instead of dragging it all the way where it is now. There's no going back. Either way.
Yeah. I think we need to draw this to a close because there's lots of people in the chat who are saying, you know, they're having their comments as well. But as I say, we have got Mark Davis who's been waiting. So, Luan, thank you for joining. Do appreciate it,
cool.
as always.
Take care, guys.
Thanks
for having me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mark, I'm going to bring you in if you're still there. Thank you for waiting, Mark. I'm going to try and add you to the stream. Mark, no, it's not. Oh, Mark's gone. Sorry, Mark. If you can try and dial in again, if you want to join in again, please do. And we'll just kind of move on from that very quickly. So moving on to January, who do you think? What sort of position do you think we need to strengthen in? If we are given some money, whether it's from wherever the money's coming from, which we're not going to discuss, if we're given some money, where do you think we need to strengthen based on the team and the way that we're playing and where we're looking weak at this moment?
Yeah. I believe we should definitely go for a center back. We need another center back and a ball playing center back, because we rely too much on Martinez, and we see when Martinez is out, we have to change our style of play. It's not as easy to play out from the back when you play with Varane, Maguire, and Evans. They don't have the same repertoire when it comes to passing the ball. So I believe we need a ball playing center back. And I think we need another striker. That's the two positions I believe we need the most at the moment. I think if Sancho leaves, we don't have to replace him. I would rely on Pilestri to come in as a second right winger after Anthony. So that position I would.
Ahmad was looking good, but he's carrying this injury, which is a shame for him. Big shame.
Yeah.
Sorry, Mark Davis, you've joined the chat again, but it says that you need to connect your microphone before you can join the stream. So if you can join your microphone, then we can add you on. If you connect your microphone on, and then we can add you onto the stream. Mark, just that's a little note to yourself.
Yeah.
Sorry, as you were, Jarvis. Sorry.
Yeah. But I don't know. I think in midfield we just need players back from injury. I think we will be fine. And we all know the January window is always difficult. There's what was Ferguson's famous words? There's no value in the market, and that's January window for you. It's very hard because the players who are good, the clubs won't sell their good players in the middle of the season. And who else are there out there? They're people who are sitting on the bench. Maybe we are lucky we can get a good player, but January is a difficult window. We can't always be lucky. It's like we was signing Bruno or Evra or Vidic. Those are the 3 January window signings that I believe was excellent.
That's it, isn't it? Yeah.
But mostly you get Sabitzer and Weghorst. That's the players you get in January. So I wouldn't rely on it. Yes,
exactly. Although there is Brentford's striker who's banned at the moment.
Ivan Toney.
Yeah. But I mean, he's rumored to be available in January, but I read somewhere that 100 million, which I think is absolutely ridiculous. The club's just getting excited. Bestie said he's injured, Phil. I think you're on about Ahmad. Yeah, completely agree. He is injured. That's what I was saying, but we've still got him to potentially come back. Somebody said sell Maguire, McTominay. I don't agree with that. I think at the end of the day, they're the players who are performing the best for us at this moment. That's the last thing we need to do. I think we need to move on from that train at this moment and just continue. We need a centre back. Alien Tenno saying a striker, midfielder. So Casemiro, Varane, Donny, and McSpud. So again, Casemiro, as his legs gone, does look like it. It does look like it. Varane, again, legs look like they've gone. Donny just can't get in the team, even when there's gaps all over the place. And McTominay, I quite like the way McTominay's playing at the moment. I'm not saying he's the best player in the world, but at the moment he is our top goal scorer for the team. So do you sell your top goal scorer when we're talking about needing goals? Not for me.
No.
And he's not for me. Not at this moment, at least. Not at this moment. Berber was on one of our best January signings. Good shout. We all remember the Sky Sports breaking news late at night. Those windows where he just walked past and it was like, it's done. What a moment that was. What a player. What a player.
The problem is at the time I didn't appreciate Berbatov at the level that I do now, because I he was kind of
'Cause you got
lazy.
Martial.
He was just walking, but he was just walking around. He was very nonchalant in his playing style. But when you see it back, you see his technique is so slick on the ball. He was like he had perfect technique,
It's very languid,
but
wasn't it?
he could go like 3, 4, 5 games without scoring, and suddenly he could score a hat trick and score a hat trick the next game, and then he will go 5 more games without. So he was like. For me, but I loved him as a player. You know, we all have seen the clip on YouTube when the ball comes over his head and he just lays dead on his foot from the other side of the pitch. It's fantastic. So he was a great player.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic. What a player. So the past it players: Varane, Casemiro, Eriksen, Martial. Box. I kind of agree. I don't know if Casemiro was fully past it, whether he was carrying injury. We commented at the beginning of the season how he looked like he'd relaxed a little bit too much in pre-season. Had one or too many MacDs or other brands are available. And you know, we felt that he'd not treated himself the best way he should have done in pre-season, certainly as a point of his career. And Eriksen, he was brilliant until that very big, tall donkey damaged him in the cup game, whose name I will refuse to mention. But Eriksen was doing really well, and he was one of our best players the other day against Copenhagen in the first 30 minutes, something like that, playing really well. So Eriksen's still got it, and I think one thing that we need to be careful of is that we keep some experience in the team. So yeah, I'm not sure that we get rid of everybody, but we definitely need to freshen up and get some strength in the team again. Talking about Adama, are you on? Do you mean Ahmad, or a different Adama? Sorry. Ahmad is injured. I'm referring to Adama. Do you mean Adama Traore? I'm not sure. Sorry, just confirm that. Maybe try to find that answer for you. Just my comments box is blocked. It's just froze on my computer. So if you can still hear me,
yeah, a little bit laggy at the moment.
I think it's just not. Yeah, sorry about that, guys. Ahmad. We have to be Peter Days saying we have to be realistic about. I'm trying to bring it up. My computer's gone very laggy. We have to be realistic about the January transfer window. Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, we don't know. Regardless of what's in the position I mentioned, we don't know who's going to be in charge. We don't know what money is going to be available. We don't know which players are going to be available. We know that you always overpay in January if you do get anybody. If Sir Alex Ferguson wasn't gone, you were gone. No different from ETH. Yeah, so obviously Neil Driscoll's referring to if Alex Ferguson said that no player was bigger than the club. Absolutely simple as that. And that was about attitude, about performance levels, everything else. I was watching the Beckham documentary the other day, and Mark Davis, add to the stage. Welcome, we've got you in. Mark, good evening.
Big up, Mark.
Good evening.
Can you hear us, Mark?
Good evening.
Yeah, I can. You hear me?
Good evening. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for. Yes, we can hear you. Yeah.
Good.
Thank you for your persistence with trying to get on the show. You all right?
Yeah, not too bad. Yeah.
What have you got a question? Have you got a question that you'd like to raise, or any comments that you'd like to make, or?
Yeah,
I just coming on to say hi.
Yeah, I want to ask you about the transfer window in January. Do you think the Glazers would do any? Do you think United would do any business in January?
What do you think, Jarvis?
Yeah. At the current moment, I don't think we have any money. The Glazers are skint; they don't have any money. The credit card is yeah, it's just red, glowing red. So I don't think we have any money. That's the biggest problem. But I think we need to sell players before we can buy players. maybe we have like a little bit for a loan, but I don't think we have any money to buy any players. But it depends, we all have read the latest rumors about Sir Jim Rattcliffe and all that stuff. So yeah, if we have money, I think we will sign players, because I think we lack a striker and we lack a center back. So Mark, if we sign this a striker and a center back, let's say we have a budget of 100 million, who would you prefer realistically?
It's hard to say, really. I'll probably get another defender. Get rid of Maguire, because I don't like Maguire.
Yeah, but he's come good now. He's played very well. He's been our best player in the last 5 to 6 games.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I know he's been really good for us. And I'll get rid of like
I think the problem we've got with this. Yeah.
You still there?
Yeah. I'm not sure what's going on. I think we have a slight delay. Phil, I think you're lacking behind. I'm not sure if it's me or you, but there's a big delay here. When you speak, it's like 15 seconds after you speak. I hear your speakers.
Okay.
So maybe if you drop out and come in again, it will solve itself.
Are you there, Jarvis?
Yeah, I'm here.
I will get rid of Sancho, because he hasn't done much really. He's not played well.
Yeah, Sancho, and Maguire. You sell both of them.
Yeah, and I get rid of just trying to think who else he is. Actually,
Martial, yeah. We heard that the PSG actually was a little bit interested in Martial. They need a backup striker, and he's French. He got a big name in France, so that will actually be a good signing for us with Martial.
Yeah, do you think we'll get that Santos in January? No, that defender from Brazil.
Yeah, maybe, but he's very. I think Liverpool wants him, Chelsea, a lot of big clubs scouts him at the moment. So I think then we have to offer him a lot of money. What do you think?
He looks good. Marcos Santos Brazil, from Brazil. I've heard Mick talking about him and everything. He's a young player, isn't he? So
yeah, he's a good player. I would like to have him to come in, because he's a ball-playing center back, and that's what we need. That's exactly what we need. And as long as we have Martinez and he's struggling with this metatarsal bone in his foot blade, who knows how long it will take. He just did another operation, and he will be back in January. But will he be fit, and will everything be good then? Time will show, so I wouldn't count on it. So definitely a ball-playing center back. That's on my top priority list.
Yeah, me too. Because if you notice, lately United have been winning like 1-0, 1-0, 1-0 all the time. We're creating chances, but we're not killing teams off. What do you think?
Yeah, that's been one of our biggest problems, the clinicality in front of goal. We see that Højlund is a raw talent, but he lacks a little bit when it comes to clinicality. Some games he's fantastic. Other games, well, he needs maybe 5 chances to score a goal. When you compare him to Haaland, for example, he just need that one chance to score that goal. So that's the difference between a good striker and a world-class striker. And it will take time for Højlund to come good. So if we brought in another striker who would complement Højlund and maybe take some load off his shoulders and come in and play good when Højlund needs a rest, that will be perfect for me. When it comes to strikers, I see people in the chat mentioning Marcus Leonardo from Santos. We have scouted him a lot of times on this channel. We have seen what he can do, and he looks really good. He's young. He's good on the ball. He's technical. He got the Brazilian flair. So for me, I would try to sign Marcus Leonardo, and he's not that expensive. I think we can get him for about 20 to 30 millions if we're lucky.
Yeah, that's a good price for a striker like him.
Yeah, and we know with Santos they need money, and I think Marcus Leonardo he's up for a run of games or in Europe. That's his next destination. If it's Man United or another big European club, I believe we will see more of him in the years coming.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. Phil, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. I don't know if you can hear me, but I am here.
Yeah,
I can hear you now. Yeah.
No.
Yeah, if you have problems with your connection, maybe turn off your camera and you will use less bandwidth, and it will be clearer.
So what do you both think of the United and Luton game last week?
Can you say again, Mark?
What do you both think of the United and Luton game last week? What did you think? What did you both think of the United and Luton game last week?
Yeah. So Mark, so for me, I know it's against Luton, but they were on a high after the game against Liverpool the week before, which don't forget, Liverpool didn't win. And I know you can say what you want about Luton or anybody, but anybody can beat anybody on the day within this league. Anybody. It's about attitude. And I was saying earlier in the show, I think one of the things is it doesn't matter who we're playing. You've got to get your points on the board. You know, the old song of 1-0 to the Arsenal. They were invincibles. They went through. They won the league with the 1-0s. 3 points is 3 points at the end of the day. And that's what we weren't getting. We weren't getting the points. We were making mistakes. We were trying to score too many goals. We were leaving too many gaps. So I'm not saying that it was a great performance. What I'm saying is it was a performance that was needed. And we've done 2 of them now. We did it against Fulham and we've done it against Luton. And if we need to do the same against Everton, we'll do the same against Everton. But if we walk away from that game with another 3 points and we created what we're seeing is progression within the play now. We're seeing the ball being controlled better. We're seeing progression, but we're just not seeing the finished product. Now, whether that's based on Ten Hag's style or whether it's based on the player's ability, I don't know. But whatever it is, we're getting the points on the board, and that is the most important thing. However you get over that line, you've got to get over the line.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, and that's another thing. I think Onana has been brilliant for us so far this season. What a goalkeeper he is, Onana.
He got better. Yeah. He got better. He had a rough start with some big costly mistakes in the Champions League, which could still cost us yet. And he was scrutinised, and then obviously he made that penalty save, which seemed to start his season for me. It took all the pressure off, and he got us the points, and he started to believe in himself. He was making some better saves. I still don't like some of his approach to saves, because he seems to, like, instead of punching the ball, he seems to push it. He doesn't seem to quite have the belief in his own ability to clear that ball or to make a clean catch, which we kind of expected we would be seeing more of. So still settling in, not judging the guy at all, not saying get rid. There was a point where I was thinking, take him out the picture for a little bit, like Fergie did with De Gea when he joined. Just bring Batinder on, let Onana off in the background, work on his skills, catching, confidence, all those sort of things. But he appears to have turned it around. So big game against Everton coming up. And yeah, I would love to see a great performance, but the most important thing I want to see is 3 points.
Yeah. Do you think eventually that Onana will be better than De Gea?
Different style of goalkeeper.
Onana will be better than De Gea.
I personally think different style of goalkeeper. De Gea is one of the best shot stoppers we've seen, apart from his last season. One of the best shot stoppers we've had for a long time, and that was a big strength. I still believe that De Gea probably would have saved some of the ones that Onana's missed this season, but it's easy to say that.
What do you think? What do you think?
The progressive play that we're seeing from Onana, and the passing out is what we were crying out for last season. So, what do you think, Jarvis?
Yeah, I just read a comment here that made me laugh. I say Matt Yar came in and said, Phil, you need to change your Wi-Fi password.
Neighbors are all over it.
Can you repeat the question? I zoned out into the chat. I'm sorry.
No, but basically, I was just saying that I think Mark was asking who do you think's a better goalkeeper, Onana or De Gea, and do you think Onana can be as good as De Gea? And I just said De Gea was more of a shot stopper, whereas Onana is got great distribution and his shot stopping is improving. But I do think the different styles of players. What do you think?
Yeah, when it comes to De Gea, the De Gea Onana debate that's been going on for the last 3 to 4 months, we all have seen that they are different type of players. Onana has his strengths and De Gea has his strengths. So it's very hard to compare them. It's like apples and oranges for me. And but when it comes to shot stopping, De Gea is by far the best. But when it comes to playing with the ball in his feet, Onana is by far the best. So in a way, it depends on the manager. What is Ten Hag planning to do? And when we see his progressive 3-1-6 formation, as he tried in the beginning, at least, we need a ball playing goalkeeper who can slide in between the center backs and be like an extra on field player. So it will give us an advantage playing out from the back. So I believe that Ten Hag and Onana will come good, but we are still in a need of ball-playing centre backs for us to fulfill Ten Hag's vision of his style of play. So then we will see the best of Onana. But to be fair to Onana, he's come good. He had a couple of saves, and we've seen that he's not useless when it comes to shot stopping. He's actually quite good, but he's not at the De Gea level at the moment.
Yeah, long way to go from the shot stopping.
I agree with you both on that. Yeah, I agree with you on them.
Quick question for you, Mark, before anybody else joins us, sort of thing. What do you think is the biggest thing that we need to do to get in the game against Everton? Do you think it's more important that we have a good performance? So the question is, do you think it's more important that we have? Would you be happier with a great performance? We were going toe to toe with them. We had shot after shot after shot. Pickford got player of the match, and Everton won 1-0. Or would you rather see us get a 1-0 and control the game?
Well, for the last 3-4 games that I've been watching United, they've been so boring and rubbish. But I like to see I like to see United play good football. But at the moment, if we're not doing it, just 1-0, just 1-0 at the moment.
Yeah. Peter Day score goals, absolutely. We'd all love to see that. I mean, one of the things that I've been saying is, I said it all last season and part of this season as well, in a lot of games, whether it's Højlund up front or Martial or whoever it is, you know, when the game starts off, we seem to not get very many people into the box. So we're trying always either playing a pass through ball or a crossing, whatever it might be, or cutting it back. Or a deflection that Højlund's waiting for. He's always on his own. Whereas so many other teams in the Premier League are playing with 3-4 players in the box whenever a cross comes in. So they've got much more opportunity, but we just don't do that. And I think that's a big problem. We've just got to get more people in the box, more people in and around the striker, because as like the likes of Martial comes on towards the end of a game when Højlund's been going off in the 70th minute, we're going for it. So everyone's just throwing themselves forward, and there are 2 or 3 players in the box. I want to see 2 or 3 players in the box while Højlund's on there, and we're all trying to score as a team.
Yeah, I see the biggest problem with that is we haven't implemented the style yet. You know, when Bruno has the ball and he pass it to Rashford, for example, we don't know if Rashford is going to the byline and cross, or will he cut in and try to shoot by himself, or will he?
Yeah,
that's the problem. So one pass doesn't automatically make other people move in a certain direction. So we need to try to implement it more. So, what I would like to see is for example, when Garnacho have the ball, everybody knows instantly that he will try to come to the byline and cross the ball. So then the runs, the deep runs will start. We will have McTominay coming in. We will have Bruno coming into the box. We will have Eriksen coming into the box. Maybe a fullback. So we will overload them in front of the goal with Højlund also. So that's what I would like to see coming forward. But we don't have that type of play. We don't play together as a team yet, and we need more time to implement and get to know each other better in a way.
Just before I go, why is Ten Hag playing Bruno Fernandes on the wing when he's a midfielder? That's what's annoying me. Why is Ten Hag playing Bruno Fernandes on the wing when he's a midfielder?
Do you want to answer that, or do you want me to answer it, Jarvis?
Yeah, just go.
Yeah, so I think for myself, I think he's, you know, he said in interviews, press conferences, he's not been able to implement his best style of play because he's not had his best players available. He's not said who those are, and he's obviously on about consistency and building in training, working on things, working on tactics, movements, rotations, passing pattern sort of thing, or whatever it might be. He's not having the opportunity to train with all his players. You can say what you want in terms of how professional they are and stuff, but every manager plays slightly different. And so I think for me, is putting Bruno on the right is about having his captain on the pitch and trying to fit somebody else in who is going to add up some strength to the team through the middle, but wouldn't play as well on the right as Bruno has. Bruno has provided assists for his national team from the right, so we know that he can play out there. But for United, it just doesn't work. And again, probably because we're not crossing it in, and we've got nobody in the box to actually head the ball in at the moment. So that's my fault. I don't like Bruno being played on the right. I think he's doing it out of necessity because we haven't got enough strong personnel in the team to be able to adapt in their best positions.
Yeah. So yeah, I see we are coming up to the 2-hour mark, Phil.
Yeah, time to close the show, I think.
Yeah,
Mark, thank you for joining us. Really appreciate it.
I'm going out, guys.
Yeah. Thanks, Mark Davis, for coming on. You did a brilliant call. So feel free to come on the next call-in show and have your say.
I will do. Take care now. You too. Take care now.
Yeah, take care, Mark.
See you
Bye.
later.
Yeah, thanks,
Bye.
Mark.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay.
Bye.
2 hour mark. Yeah. Mark, and maybe you
time
want
to
jump on and then have a save in the last couple of minutes, maybe. No. Yeah.
maybe not.
Well, maybe he's busy.
Okay, so how many likes have we got before we close this show? Have we hit the 50 mark yet? Did we make it?
Let's see if we made it. My phone is on and it says we have 53 likes.
53, we made it. Thank you very much. 53.
That deserves an
Thanks,
applause.
guys. That is brilliant. Yeah, brilliant. So we need one dictator in midfield, one box to box, and 4 forwards interchanging where one or both fullbacks change between over and underlapping. And I think that's one of the things that we've missed from Luke Shaw. We know that, and I go back to the days when Memphis was the connection that them two had. Memphis went weak when Luke Shaw and Memphis left. And then Luke Shaw, when he came back, he wasn't the same without Memphis up there. And I do think we miss Luke Shaw. I really do. I think the overlap run that he does is one of his signature moves, if you like, or whether even when he underlaps and he goes on the inside. We do definitely miss that. So yeah, I agree. And the dictator in midfield, we thought Casemiro, we had moments last season. We know the gate where he got his red card and everyone was like head in hands moment. It's all over sort of thing. And forwards interchanging. Yeah, we're not seeing enough of that. They seem static. That Rashford's always going to be on the left. We did see it in the last game. Garnacho was moved to the right side, but he was only there for about 5 minutes in the whole game. So not enough of it at all. We've seen many games in the past with previous United teams where we've had 3 or 4 players moving around all over the place. No one knew who to mark because they were constantly overlapping, swapping positions, didn't know where to find the net, and you couldn't pin them down. But we're just not seeing enough of that. So again, maybe it's down to do the fact that 56 likes. Well done, guys. Thank you very much. Maybe it's to do with the fact that Ten Hag hasn't had a settled squad. Can we make it 60 before we finish? No, probably not. No,
maybe.
Pellistri and Bruno can interchange and feed Højlund. We mentioned Pellistri before. Is he strong enough? Maybe against some teams, maybe not against others. Is he going to start? I don't think at the moment he's going to start over Rashford or Anthony. I'm not saying he's not got it. I'm just saying I don't think he will. Sorry, we've just got one caller just joined in as we're about to end. So, Peter, welcome to the show. How are you doing? You all right?
Come on.
Can you hear us okay, Peter?
I feel the force.
It's Obi-Wan Kenobi.
How are you doing? You okay?
I am Obi-Wan Fat One. Can you hear me, Phil?
Good to see you, buddy. So, how are you doing?
I'm all right. Obi-Wan Kenobi. I'm pissed, guys. I just thought I'd come in quick and say hi. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm watching the stream.
Well, thank you for joining. Appreciate it. It's always good to meet the people behind the names. You got a question for the panel before you leave, or are you just saying hi and bye?
Yeah, quick one. I mean, you know what? That's I haven't got a good feeling about Sir Jim buying into this club. I really haven't. I've been mulling over it today, and I just, you know, when you do a dot to dot, and you kind of have to do the imaginary line to fill the other dot up. You understand what I'm saying? To make a picture, and you find out the elephant's got 5 legs instead of 4. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to end well for us. I don't. I just think it's money. That's it.
Yeah.
We're not going to get a new stadium. We won't even get an extension built. Yeah, they won't even sort out the car park. And you know what? We'll go and buy some dickhead player, sorry for swearing, and give him 400k a week wages. That's exactly what we're going to do. And you all know that in your heart. That's what we're going to do.
I'm not sure
Meanwhile,
because we're
City,
looking at getting
115 red flags behind them, are still merrily going along their own way. Yeah, Everton get banged 12 points. Yeah, because you're a little club. Excuse me, Everton are building a brand new stadium. Last time I looked.
Yeah.
What are Man United doing?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're touching on to some crucial points there. So how is the feeling around Manchester? And you are a season ticket holder and go to Old Trafford all the time. So what are the fan base and the locals saying about the latest takeover?
People don't want Sir Jim Jarvis, Phil, Mark, and I. People don't want him because you know what I mean. He's not helping the club. Or he's what you call now an enabler. He's enabling the Glazers to stay in command.
100%.
That's what he's doing. That man's vanity, has stopped Man United resurrecting themselves under the Qatari ownership. And he's done it for... Let's put it this way. Look at this logically, and I don't wish harm on any human being. What happens if that guy has an heart attack next year and dies? Where does that leave us then? People aren't even looking at this down the line. Where does that leave us then?
Yeah, in the hands of Ineos and the Glazers again.
Yeah, in the hands of Ineos, who were not very good F1 owners, a shit fucking bicycle firm. You know what I mean? Alfred's are better than Ineos. You heard it here first. Alfred's are better than Ineos. When it comes to bicycles, they don't know jack shit about football. You're talking of a premier premium football club that has over 100 years of history. You're talking of these Ineos trying to manage this club with owners that all they want to do is bleed the blood out of us. How do you think this is going to play out? Seriously.
Yeah.
Because I don't think it's going to play out good. Forget about soft candy talk.
You know, for a while.
You know, being nice to everyone, this and that. Let's talk hard facts. This is going to go south real quick.
The real question is why aren't fans doing more? Why aren't fans kicking up and protesting all out? Because, I mean, we have this one chance to get the Glazers out because the Qataris was waiting in the wings. Now, we could sit here and talk about Sir Jim might be a positive and what it could do, 25% to get in the door, and all that is good and cool. But in my honest opinion, there's a cop-out. And in my honest opinion, I can't call myself a United fan if I go and accept that. Because that is not what we want. That's not what we need. And it have no guarantees. The biggest thing for me with Sir Jim is the no guarantees. We don't know for sure if he's going to increase that stake anytime soon. We're not certain if the Glazers going to be taken out. We're not certain it's going to be successful. First and foremost, there are so many different dominoes have to line up in straight lines in order for this deal to work and possibly be a success. That is like stacking needles in a haystack and going and look for them 2 weeks later.
We're not going to do that, Mark. We're not. You know what? I was looking at an article earlier today. I think it was in Daily Star, maybe one of them. I don't read newspapers. I was looking at a guy this morning buying a newspaper in the shop, and it's like, do you people really buy the news what was there yesterday, today, like, and you're paying money for it? Just go on the fucking internet, you know what I mean? Seriously. Anyway, the headline was the two sirs will put United right. Sir Alex Ferguson and Sir Jim Rattcliffe. Sir Alex Ferguson was the enabler that let the Glazers get hold of us, and Sir Jim is the enabler that lets them keep hold of us. What are they going to put right? Like, why don't them pair fuck off? Seriously, stop licking at Alex Ferguson's ass. This fucking geezer caused all this. He caused it all. Get rid of the dickhead.
Language.
Get
We
rid
don't
of
want to
him.
get demonetized.
Yeah.
And I'm
Really.
sorry, guys, but I'm saying I'm passionate about it. This guy caused all this, and you got
I
people.
agree.
Oh, Sir Alex this, Sir Alex that. This guy, you know what I mean, caused it all.
You know,
You go
Ilya,
watch his documentary, like people are going on, Wax Lyrican, about David Beckham's documentary on Netflix. Nothing about Rebecca Lewis, who he was banging off. You know what I mean? Nothing. Start talking the truth instead of glossing over shit. Tell it how it is.
because
These
as
are the
an
real
international
facts.
fan, as an international fan, Peter, like I don't understand how people could. I mean, Sir Jim is the greatest manager in my opinion alive. You know what I mean? I still
Yeah.
think Pep have to do a lot to catch up to him, right? But at the end of the day, Sir Alex Ferguson is the only person. If he speak one sentence tomorrow, the entire fan base will revolt with him.
Yeah, that's it. But he won't know,
So, in
man.
my honest opinion, for the last few years, what he could be, he's sitting on his stands watching this thing United crumble, and all he need to do is just go on Twitter or go on
Yeah.
Instagram and say 10-second recording, yo, Glazers out, everybody, and that's it.
You know what, Mark? I
Party
entirely
done.
agree. I entirely
You know what I
agree
mean?
with you.
And
Okay, right. And
for me, it's like
his
he not
position now.
willing to do
Sir
that
Alex
for
Ferguson
whatever
just lost
reason.
the
He had
love
to
of
accept
his
some
life.
blame for the reason that United in this situation is as simple as that.
Yeah, Sir Alex Ferguson just lost the love of his life, Cafe. Yeah, do the right thing, mate. Yeah, put your hand up. It's not about money anymore. It's about your legacy. This is about your legacy, Sir Alex Ferguson. Put your hand up and call them out for what they are, and be damned with it. Just call them out. You've lost everything. You've lost your wife. You're about to lose your legacy at the club because you enabled these parasites to come here. Do the right thing, son. You know what I mean? If you're a man of honor, then do it. Forget about money. That's what it was. Why we ended up in this. Because it is what the saying is. Pride comes before the fall. And that's what Fergie done. He thought he could tell the Irish how to run their world in horse racing. Sorry, mate, you're in the wrong game. You're in the wrong game. They told you. They told Roy Keane to tell you, back off, or you'll regret this for the rest of your life. And guess what, mate? We're living this shit now. We're living it because of one man's pride. Start telling it how it is. Stop waxing lyric Sir Alex Ferguson. Stop it. Call it out for what it is. He's a paradox. Gave us greatness and gave us evil all in one go. That's it. Sorry about the rant, but it needs to be said. People need to hear this.
Right. Let me ask you one question before, because we have passed the 2 hour mark. If Sir Alex was able to see what's happened, do you think he would make the same decision again?
No, he wouldn't. No, Phil.
Definitely not.
So, and that's the point. So, it's easy at the time he believed he was doing right for the club.
No, he wasn't. No, he was doing right for him, mate. You got it wrong, son. Listen, go check Irish racing. Yeah, go check Michael Tabor. Yeah, go check Coolmore Stud. These are the people who own Coolmore Stud. Yeah, Aidan O'Brien, who trains for Coolmore Stud, wins most of the Group 1 races in the UK and around the world. This is what Manchester United would have been if he'd had listened to them instead of the Fergies. Basically, what it was, he had the money for Rocket Gibraltar winning. Yeah, so all the prize money went to Fergie. The agreement was when Rocket Gibraltar went to Stud, that went to Coolmore. That was their business, and Fergie wanted a piece of that pie. That's where the downfall was. Go and check Coolmore Stud, how they're run. They are more efficient than anything in the world. They are more efficient than anything in the world. This is what Manchester United would be. But Alex Ferguson put his pride first. No, No. You don't tell me what to do. You know what Kumar Stud said to Alex Ferguson? You're just a little fish in a big pond, mate. Here's what's going to happen to you. Bang. Goodbye. And that's what's happened. And if he would go back in time, it'd still make the same decision, Fergie would, because he's put his pride before everything. He's a little man who made it big and thought, no one tells me what to do. Well, guess what, mate? Everyone tells us what to do. There's always a person above you to tell you what to do. That's how life rolls. This guy couldn't take it. And this is what it's caused. The downfall of Manchester United. That's his legacy.
Yeah.
Interesting point. It's certainly a new viewpoint that we've not had heard or shared before.
I only speak the facts.
I mean, obviously, at the end of the day.
But before I go, sorry, Matty, I've just seen Matty's put a question there. Peter, what would you do with Sancho? What's your opinion? I'll tell you what I'd do with Sancho. I'd sack him and pay him off and end him. Pep Guardiola, let that guy leave on a free. Yeah, you're talking to the caliber of a manager like Pep Guardiola, letting a so-called great player leave for a free. What does that tell you? That tells me that this man knew this guy in his head wasn't the real deal. Forget about the talent in your boots. What's in here like?
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
the only difference with me is if I had the opportunity to decide Sancho's fate, you know, he have 2 years more on his contract and an extension. I would extend his contract and sit him on the bench for the next 2 seasons until he apologizes. Not going anywhere. I'm not selling him. I'm not paying another club to loan you to play for Juventus. Nowhere. Unless they're paying 65 million cash up front, they go nowhere for the next 2-3 seasons. Sit down and watch football. That's me. I would do that because at the end of the day, players had to learn 2 things, right? Y'all are getting paid to be professionals. We paying y'all exorbitant fees weekly to retain y'all to play the best football y'all could play. 2, y'all must have respect for the manager and the people in authority. It's simple life rules. You know what I mean? And it's like, I am a big Sancho fan. I don't think that anybody in this room is more a Sancho fan than me, right? And I telling you, this fella, that what he did is the biggest disappointment. Biggest disappointment. I telling you, bro, like, I can't believe he said that and then apologize. Not to mention, people who go on and say Ten Hag give this guy 3.5 months away and protect him last season, right? He sent him to a physio coach and a group, and they deal with him for 3.5 months. Get your mind right, do what you need to do. Ten Hag was in the media protecting Sancho. Game in, game out, week in, week out until he returned. Right? At this point in time, what Sancho need to do is realize, listen, life don't work like a video game. You can't just hit reset or quit when it down 2-0. You know what I mean? You gotta stick it out. Be a man, grow up here and apologize. I understand what Luan saying, you know. He might have his little mental health issues, whatever. Everybody have the cross to bear. No one in this world is perfect. No one. Everybody have the stresses and the failures and everything to deal with. Everybody had a road to walk. No one else is special. You know what I mean? We didn't give that energy to Greenwood. We can't have that energy for Sancho. You understand what I'm saying? It's like
exactly, yeah.
Because I just look at it like this, right? Whether he's an English player or he's a foreign player, you're wearing the Man United shit. If I go and give you 2 seasons to come good, I give in the next man 2 seasons to come good. You understand? And I feel like fans need to sit down and realize, listen, whether or not the English, whether or not the Spanish, French, or whatever, is a United player. It's either we go and support them for 18 months and then bin them, or we just don't support them at all. But it don't make sense to say, well, one player come in now and he didn't perform for 6 months or for 1 season, and he's the worst player in the world. It's the same reason why players just leave the club and then perform better elsewhere, is because pressure is two different things. I feel like some of the players is getting more abuse than positive pressure. Positive pressure is push them to do better. Abuse is make them feel like why they play.
You know what, Mark? You know what? I'd say this. I think, from now on, when we sign players, we should put in the contracts. We're signing you as a football player. We're a football club, not a mental health institute. If you've got mental health issues, why don't you do one? I'm going to seek help somewhere else, because where you're signing for here is to run round and kick a ball. End of. That's it. I'm not interested in your mental health. Everyone can put their hands up in the air and go, guess what? I'm mentally ill. Blah, blah, blah. You're getting paid £350 a week, mate. Go pay me £350 a week for me to put my hand up in the air and say, guess what? I'm a bit mentally touched in the head. Get out of it. It's called grow backbone. Grow backbone.
Yeah.
You're not a little kid. You're a man. It's now, you need to be treated like a man. Eric Ten Hag is treating Sancho like a man, and the guy who's spitting his dummy out because he can't handle being told what to do.
Yeah, at some point in time, you have to learn that life goes in a way. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, sometimes you give, sometimes you take. It's not always going to be what you like. You know, I'm pretty sure Jarvis and Stu, you all had to do some things in life you all didn't really like or you didn't really want to do, but at the end of the day, you needed to earn money or you needed to do it to accomplish something, so you did it. And that's just how the world is work. Look at Beckham. Everybody talk about the David Beckham, the David Beckham documentary. Everybody know what Sir Alex tell him? Anybody know what Roy Keane said to Ronaldo when he was 17 years old? Imagine if Ronaldo had do one just like Sancho. We would never have a player on the verge of scoring 900 goals to this day.
No.
You know what I mean? So it's like, for me, when we look at the past and you see some of the players and some of the treatment players get in the past, was a whole different level of disgusting, in my opinion.
I just want to come in here and just before we wrap up and just bring in, because I read a really interesting tweet today from Phil Brown, Philip De Bruyne, if you know him. He was kind of in the known. He had some contacts into the club a couple of years ago, and as I have heard, not confirmed, but I heard rumors about it. And he shared a tweet today. I can just read it quick here. And he says, you can't trust United's briefs on Sancho or anything for that matter. When they first tried to sign him, they were told in June by Dortmund that there were no chance of a deal happening that summer. So the media devised a strategy to lie to the media and that they were still in for him up until the last week of the window, and then go for someone else. And it reminded him about the young strategy when they lied to Mourinho about telling him they were in for Alderweireld from Spurs. They weren't, because Levy offered him to Man United the day before the window closed. So basically what he's saying now is what comes out to the media. We have heard a lot of rumors of this Sancho saga. What's truth and what's not? Basically, we don't know because we don't have contacts into the club. But he's telling us something here, that there's something else going on.
You know what, Jarvis? Sorry to interrupt. I'll tell you what the truth is. Yeah, look at a human being and watch how they behave as a person. That will tell you the truth of that person. Yeah, you could be told off, and how you react is how you are as a human being. Yeah, you can go two ways. You can go sulk in the corner, or you can go to the person who's told you off. Go, okay, then right then, I'll show you what I can do then.
Yeah, Peter, I agree with that, but at the same time, when I read that comment there, I look at it from this perspective, right? From what I know, Sancho wants to play off the left. He's been wanting to play off the left wing since he signed for United, right? But let me be honest, we have a poster boy off the left. So when everybody think the problem and his beef is with Anthony, that's not his beef. So the whole media frenzy for the last 6 months about him and Anthony having a spat, that's not the case.
Yeah.
And I understand, like, at the end of the day, you can't always have your way. But basically, in my honest opinion, there's an unspoken rule among professional footballers or any football player who have a coach. Sometimes your coach will say some things to you, and you have to swallow that. You have to swallow that. The pride don't matter. So as much as people want to say, yeah. Go ahead, Jarvis.
Yeah.
Stand your ground, Sancho. Just wanted to send a tip. Yeah, like, I mean, like, I won't go as far as to say that he's a total flop. You know, I think there's a player in there. I actually think he's the best suited player to play off the left wing for our style of football because of his ability to keep the ball and thing. But the mental, the part where he make those terrible decisions and thing, and to carry the situation on this long, because maybe people could say Eric Ten Hag could stop this, but Sancho is the only one who could have stopped this, really. In all,
Mark, I get what you're saying there, bud. Yeah. Okay, look at it from this viewpoint. Yeah. Imagine Wayne Rooney saying, "I only want to be a number 9." Yeah. Look at all the positions through his career. He played that at Manchester United, and guess what? He's Manchester United's top goal scorer.
Rooney
It's
was
called
different,
adapt, isn't it? It's called
back
adapt.
in the
Like
day,
that's what you do.
had a different mentality, boy, alien boy, in my opinion.
Well, of course, yeah. But I'm saying that's what I'm saying is you have to adapt as a player. You can't always be in your comfort zone. It's as simple as that. You can't be in your comfort zone. Sometimes you're going to be asked to do things in life and in a football game that you really don't want to do.
Telling you.
So you adapt. Maybe you're not the best at doing that position, what you're told to adapt to, but at least you give it a try. For me, Sancho's not even trying. It's like I want to play left wing or right wing, and that's it.
Exactly.
Blah, blah, blah. Go and sit in the corner, mate. Go and sit in the corner. Suck your 350k dummy a week. And when your contract runs out, goodbye.
Yeah.
How's that sound?
This is why I will
And
not.
I'll tell you what, another thing, Sancho, yeah. Good luck getting any other club to pay you that money again, because you've just blown your future getting that money again. By the way, you've acted as a person.
That's exactly why it's not to loan him anywhere. Sell him only.
Yeah, that's it.
Pay him to sit on the bench. We could afford that. I've been honest. We could afford that.
Agree.
Best decision. Because I be honest, right? It would be so sad to see we pay him 350k a week to go and take Juventus to a Serie A title this season when he should be taking Manchester United to top 4 or a title. He shouldn't play no football as long as he contracted to Manchester United until his contract run out. That's just my honest opinion.
You know what, Mark? Give him 2 choices. Yeah, you have a buckle up and play for Man United and get your 350k a week, or if you want to go play for another team, take the loss in wages and leave the club. You can't have it both ways. What do you want to do? What do you want to do? Do you want to? And I'll tell you what he'll pick now. He'll go, I want me 350k a week. But in there, that's what that guy is.
The choice I will give him is 2 things. One, either you play for this club, you apologize to Ten Hag, and you play for the club for the next until the contract run out, and we extend for the extra season. Or 2, you get a club to pay 65 million for you in cash, and you could go your way. Other than that, no football. That's just me. The moment United do something like that, Jarvis, we will never have problems with players ever again.
Yeah, exactly.
Again. It's done. All player power done. All player lack of motivation finished.
Done.
Everything done. Strong moves. This is football. I understand the whole thing about these fellas have feelings and whatever, but this is football. This is not a popularity contest. It's not Instagram. It's not Netflix. It's not X. You know what I mean? This is football. It's a meritocracy. The best of the best. This is Manchester United, the greatest football club in English history.
Exactly.
1 billion fans worldwide. 1 billion. You can't go anywhere in this world without seeing a Manchester United kit on somebody or two. I just walk around
Yeah.
in Germany and I cannot walk 20 minutes without seeing a Manchester kit. And I'm
Yeah.
in Germany, guys. This is just my honest opinion.
Hmm.
Players cannot be allowed to do what they're doing unless it's not like we're winning trophies and these players acting the fool. We're not winning
Yeah.
anything. We have not won anything but two minor trophies, well, a Europa and this in the last decade. It's not good enough. And we're paying more than one player 350k a week. Madness. That's insanity.
You know what, guys? Yeah, before I go, yeah, going back to earlier, we was going on about Dimitar Berbatov, yeah?
Yeah.
And how nonchalantly he used to play football. Basically, he was lazy. You imagine him playing in a United team now. I'll be crucified Rashford. Rashford doesn't run back. You imagine Berbatov now playing for United. That guy wouldn't last 6 months in this team.
Nah,
He
Berbatov
makes
would
the
stick
slug
it in the
look
goal.
faster. Berbatov, put it that way.
As much as he's slow, Berbatov was burying the goals. You give
Not the point now,
Berbatov
is
any
it?
of the chances our striker had this season, Berbatov on 20 goals already. I tell you.
You put what I said, Matt, was you put Berbatov in this team, not the team he was in then, because he had a team full of class players around him. You put Berbatov in this team now, and he strolls around like he did then. That guy wouldn't last 6 months in this team.
Probably wouldn't. But I mean,
because you contribute what to the team.
This is just my honest opinion.
Like,
You see,
what you're contributing. You're strolling around thinking you're the dog's bollocks.
well,
You're not, mate. You know what I mean?
I mean, Peter, my opinion is this, right? If a player being effective and efficient, I would never complain if he walking around for 10 minutes. You know? If when he get that ball in front of goal, 5 out of 6 times he's scoring, he could walk 15, 20 minutes. I don't care. Because I know he will get 3 chances in front of goal before the game and he will score 2.
Yeah, look, I mean, Matt, look at it from this viewpoint. As far as I'm concerned, Ireland compared to Berbatov, Ireland's just blew Berbatov's career away in one season in the Premiership. Why? He just won the treble. Ended up the top scorer, banging in 50 goals. He just blew it away. And I've seen Ireland. I was at the game at Old Trafford last season when we beat them 2-1. I think he had about 4 or 5 touches, Ireland. And he's a top player. You understand what I'm saying? It's like these players, they think that they're entitled to do what they do. It's like you got to knuckle down and work hard and play for the team.
Exactly.
If you're not an elite team, Ireland's lucky because he's in an elite team. He can literally not have touches in the game and bang in 3 goals. When do you see this in football? We're in because he's lucky to have that privilege, to have an elite team around him. We don't have that, like. No wonder Rasmus Højlund can't score. Rasmus Højlund must feel like I'm a player in a brothel with 100 grand in my pocket and I can't bang at the target, like. What's going on here? You've got to give the players service and look at the style of the play and go, okay, yeah, like you say, Mark, with Berbatov, he doesn't want to do a lot, because his talent, if you feed his talent, he will score goals. Yeah, we're not feeding Rasmus Højlund's talent. We're not even feeding Martial's talent.
Well, yeah,
We've got
that's why I
wingers
say
there running down the wing. They're not even crossing the balls to him.
I'd say
Our last goal, what we scored, was a fullback that crossed the ball to Ireland to score. What the wingers doing? Going to KFC and picking up the meals.
The problem is that we don't have real wingers. A lot of people say Marcus Rashford is a winger, but he's not a winger. I could never call him a winger. He's a left forward. He doesn't even deserve to play on that side of the field. If he's not playing in that 2-striker formation, he's not worth it. And a lot of people might be mad I say that. But in 21-22, when he had Ronaldo in the center of the field, imagine he could only muster 6 assists in all competitions. 3 goals. It's ridiculous.
Have you seen the Oscars?
No, I haven't.
Well,
When they play the music, it's time to wrap it up. I
Yeah.
see we have been doing this show for 2 hours, 33 minutes, 26
cheers,
seconds.
guys.
So I think it's time to say goodbye to the VAR room, and I love the engagement
made Phil go quiet.
of this discussion. But I need to get up in the morning and drive my kids to school. So I think it's time to wrap it up. Is that okay for you, Phil?
No problem.
Absolutely, yeah. No, I mean, I appreciate you joining, Peter, and I know obviously you had some very strong comments that you wanted to share, and I was watching the VAR room as you were speaking, which is why I didn't say much myself, to be honest, but obviously it's good to get a different opinion for a change. I appreciate you joining the show, and same to everybody who's joined us tonight. Thank you very much. The show wouldn't have been the same without you. Myself and Jarvis this morning were chatting, and we didn't know what we were going to be discussing, and you've made the show what it's been tonight. It's been a very long show. We're all very tired, and we're all off to see you all on the other side. So thank you, everyone. Good night. God bless. See you all on the other side.
Cheers, all.
Cheers.
I hope you enjoyed this video. Please give it a thumbs up by smashing that like button. Subscribe if you have not done so yet.
Okay.
I hope you enjoyed this video. Please give it a thumbs up by smashing that like button. Subscribe if you have not done so yet. If you want to take it to the next level, you can always show your appreciation to sponsor our channel by clicking below the video title, where you will see the heart icon with the text saying, "Thanks." Or you could buy me a cheeky little coffee by scanning this barcode, or visit this link to buy me a virtual coffee. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this content. Remember, glory, glory, Man United, Glazers out. It is green and gold until we are announced and sold. That was all from me. I wish you a good day and a great match experience, and I shall see you in the next video. Goodbye.
Thank you so much for stopping by and watching MUFC Realist TV. Don't forget to like and subscribe and follow us on the socials.